the chat. So yeah, today we're talking about the impact construction has on the environment. If you've ever worked on a construction site, you'll know that the waste, the garbage, is insane. We use these big bins, and man, they're in and out with the trucks dropping off bins like all day. Like it's insane. On some jobs, right? But it's amazing what you throw away. And as a drywaller, the amount of gypsum board that we throw away is insane, absolutely insane. I really love double layer jobs like this last one I was on, because I could save a lot of it and put it in the first layer. But wow, man, taping is less expensive than the drywall, right? So throwing out drywall is hey Amos, happy Sunday, dude. Welcome to the stream. Good morning, my man. Good morning. So it's always been like, you know what, drywall's cheap, taping is expensive. So use the most board that you can to eliminate joints and things like that for the taper, right? So yeah, there's a lot of waste. The best way to combat waste in with drywall is to correctly do your takeoffs, right? Order the right amount of material and use the proper sheets, right? So like there's what, 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot, 14 foot. So you gotta use the best sheet for the walls for each thing, right? So you gotta really plan that out. But yeah, I've always prided myself on how much waste how little of waste I can produce, right? So hey, thanks. I almost right on. Cheers, dude. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I might have to really. I think the only way I can actually get out a 4K stream is if I use vMix. So I do have the 60-day trial on vMix. I'm gonna see if I can find classes on Skillshare for it, and I'm gonna learn it. It's a really complicated program, but looks like I'm definitely gonna have to jump into vMix, it's an expensive program. To be able to get the license for 4K streaming, you got to pay $700. So that's an extremely expensive piece of streaming software, but it's what professional studios use, right? So it would make sense to jump onto that, right? But I will miss my plugins though. But I think actually if I keep Streamlabs, I can still play music and stuff like that with Streamlabs while streaming with vMix. So that's actually, I can still use the music plugins, right? Hey Eva, thanks man. What's up? Cheers. Yeah, showing love. Love is love. Beautiful. Good to see you. Very cool, man. Very cool. So this is $700 for vMix, for the actual license. So and I think that's a one-time. That's not a subscription. I don't think it is. I think that's a one-time payment. So and I don't know how long you'll get for updates and things like that, but I'm gonna figure that out. I got this first YouTube video that I'm gonna show you guys just to give us like a little bit of a great icebreaker on the subject today, right? Construction has a huge impact. See, I see pixelating on the screen here. Damn it! I wonder if it's too late to change the bitrate back while I'm streaming. You can't. That's okay. So I might have to go back and put it back to the constant bit rate. So, because I'm streaming between 2,500 and 5,000, right? So, boom. Cool. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. So I think it might be the only one-time payment for vMix. I hope that's the case. So, I'll have to go back and look, but hope so. Alright, hopefully we can hear this.
Today's presentation is construction and demolition waste
you guys
and
to,
the environment.
To have an understanding of like the impact. Like it's insane how much
construction and demolition waste. The construction and demolition industry is one of the largest waste producers in Ireland. Construction and demolition waste consists of unwanted material produced directly or indirectly by the construction and demolition industry. This includes building materials such as insulation, nails, electrical wiring, and rebar, as well as waste originating from site preparation, such as dredging materials, tree stumps, and rubble. A large amount of building waste is made up of materials such as bricks, concrete, and wood, damaged or unused for various reasons during construction.
How's the audio? Can you hear the video itself?
However,
is it too
construction
loud?
and demolition waste may also contain lead, asbestos, or other hazardous substances. Observational research has shown that waste produced on construction sites can be as high as 10 to 15% of the materials that go into a building.
10 to 15%.
Since considerable
right?
variability exists between construction sites, there is much opportunity for reducing this waste. Why minimize waste?
Duh.
Landfill space is running out. This isn't some pie-in-the-sky statement. If something is not done soon, it is predicted that Ireland will run out of landfill space within this decade. You've probably noticed, even in your own homes, that the price of waste management is rising rapidly. So reduction of waste will in turn reduce the cost of waste disposal, and, as a result, save money. For example, the landfill levy alone stands at €75 per ton as of July 2000.
So it's actually about $350 here in Canada per ton. So that's observational research. Yeah, right on. That's crazy, right? When I speak, yeah, of course. Okay. Yeah, I can.
13.
Thanks, Amos.
Government policy is putting pressure on the construction industry through the enforcement of reduction targets for waste. These targets are non-negotiable and must be met. Waste minimization can enhance your company's reputation by developing good practice and improving performance. This can be used as a marketing tool when tendering for work in the future.
Oh, fuck's sakes, Chris.
Resource depletion. Resource depletion, coupled with global population growth, means that the cost of raw materials, energy, and minerals is growing rapidly. Constantly using new materials results in land degradation, deforestation, and loss of biodiversity. This is happening at such a rate that nearly 2/3 of the world's ecosystems are in decline. Also, the European Union have stated that unless there is significant progress made in improving resource efficiency, there will be a global shortfall of 40% in water by 2030.
Right, 40%.
Environmental benefits.
Wow.
Reducing waste on site will in turn reduce the following: the tonnage of waste sent to landfill or for treatment, the amount of raw material required, the need to manage reuse and recycling of excess materials, and the carbon footprint from CO2 emissions associated with extracting, processing, manufacturing, and transporting raw materials. Waste legislation. How does it affect you? The EU have introduced tough reduction targets to be met by the construction industry. For example, 70% of construction and demolition waste should be recycled or reused by 2020. If these targets are not met, Ireland will face hefty fines.
So the problem with this is that the cost of construction towards the owner could possibly go up. They'll start working things like that into the cost of the projects, right? And everybody bidding will do the same thing, right? Because they're going to weigh the difference, right? So how much more will it cost to sort the materials, the waste, and recycle them, right? Is it going to cost more to pay the fine or to pay the labor for that? I'm sure they'll experiment with that. The fines are heavy enough, then that could be that would be good, right? The fines could, if they're high enough, then that could be legislation could be helpful. But yeah, legislation is kind of like a last resort, in my opinion. I think that we need to be more cautious, right, and more willing to do it on our own, just because it's the right thing to do, right? It's construction is really messed up. How everything is about cost. Everything comes down to cost, right? And that's what drives the entire project, the scheduling and everything. So, it's crazy. All we are cost codes to them, basically, right? And the materials are the same thing. It's insane. The waste. I can you the so much waste from these projects it's incredible, right? And I've seen lead projects and I've seen non-lead projects, and general contractors are like, it's just it costs a lot to get lead, right? And that's another thing, right? Like, who's lobbying for the legislation and things like that, right? Like, it's a crazy world, right? Where the big powerful companies with a lot of money are, they're the ones who are making the rules, right?
How do the EU plan on implementing waste reduction targets?
Jeez.
The EU have adopted the use of the waste hierarchy. The most important step is to first try to avoid creating waste at all. After this, try to reduce the quantity of waste you produce. Then, reuse as much as you can.
Yeah, reduce, recycle.
Recycle waste hierarchy first. The following are also included.
Okay,
the original cost just include the cost of the skip hire. The following are also included. So, the original cost of the materials being wasted, plus the cost of the labor to fill the skip.
Right on.
Plus,
that's cool. I recycle,
the time it takes to manage
I take
the
as
skip.
much as I can too.
Plus landfill tax. Plus skip hire. Plus VAT. Financial composition of an average skip. On an average skip, VAT accounts for 20% of the cost. Labor accounts for 3% of the cost. Skip hire accounts for 12% of the cost. And the value of the wasted materials accounts for an overwhelming 65% of the cost. Have a think. The following are the most common causes of waste on site. Can you do anything to reduce these today? Offcuts of materials, such as tiles and plasterboard. Damage to materials, for example, through inappropriate handling or inadequate storage. Inaccurate or surplus ordering of materials. Rework due to errors, poor workmanship, or defective site processes.
So yeah, this is exactly what you have to have that mindset, the mindset of the, like, protecting the environment, being for just $4 to $6 a linear foot. That's US, right? So just so however long your house is, just times that by 6, right? And then by 2, and that's how much your gutters will cost, right? And then you got to count how high it is as well, and add in your downs. So that's how you do that. So yeah, not 100, just $4 to $6 a linear foot.
Inefficient
I'll
use
type
of
that out.
materials. For example, use of temporary materials, such as hoardings. Finally, did you know, in order to make 1 bag of cement, more than 10 bags of industrial waste have been generated? Also, did you know that there is more copper in landfill sites around the world than in the Earth's core? Thank you for your time and attention. This concludes today's presentation on construction and demolition waste and the environment. We look forward to speaking with you again at tomorrow's presentation on avoiding and reducing construction and demolition waste.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, like, I don't know how many guys in here actually have experience with this. Like, A vinyl gutter is like $10 every 10 feet in parts. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, vinyl gutter. Yeah, that's for the aluminum or like the rolled steel. So, but yeah, usually you get a guy with a truck just shows up on sites and custom rolls all the lengths for you. That's the way I would go. So yeah, like construction projects around the world have significant impact on our environment, both on a local and global scale. Every stage of the construction process has a measurable environmental impact. The mining processes used to source materials, the transportation of these materials to the building site from sources around the world, the construction process itself, and the waste removal and disposal process that follows the completion of the project. So, with a rapidly developing global economy, it is crucial that we understand how the construction projects we undertake impact the environment and how we can measure and reduce that impact in the future. Yeah, so climate change. Scientists believe that the Earth's rapidly getting warmer and that human activity is playing a significant role in accelerating this process. The biggest way in which construction firms are doing this is by contributing to the carbon dioxide emissions. Yeah, we get that. We know what that's all about. Yeah, carbon dioxide, methane, and other waste products that pollute. Yeah, let's see here. So, operation of heavy machinery in mining and that extract raw materials from the earth projects. So that's the most harmful one. Oh yeah, if your nephew does siding, he'll know a guy. He'll know a guy for that. That thing goes. Siding and gutters go hand in hand, right? So what? Yeah, water pollution. So ground disturbance, right? They're that's a huge thing. Like for when we've done gas stations, building gas station is crazy. You need to have a geotech, like environmental impact plan or a report. All this stuff has to be done, right? It's crazy. You have to protect the ground from ground disturbances, right? Even when you're laying tanks, you're putting like certain special stone and all this other stuff, right? So it's quite a process, and I think that the environment has to be taken into consideration more. It makes sense because it drives the economy and it gives people jobs, but at what cost, right? So we need to really think about this. There's definitely ways that we can, yeah, absolutely hit them up for sure. There's absolutely ways that we can help this happen, right? Me Dibble, hey, hello, I made it. Good, glad you made it. Good stuff. Good morning. How are you? Shoot, yeah, I gotta moderate Zaphael here too. And Eric too, I should. And Eric, because I know Eric. Add moderator. Yeah, there you go. Eric and Zaphael got the wrench now. So just so you guys know, I always wrench guys after I known you for a while, like just because then there's no issue with like having to like to share links or being caught by the filter and stuff like that. So and then of course every people have an eye on other things as well, right? Which is good. But yeah, me Dimbo, glad you made it. How? What do you think of the impact construction has on the environment? What do we got here? So I got some. I see some. Good afternoon. Good. So where are you located geographically then? I'm in northern Canada. I'm in Edmonton, Alberta. Way up here, eh? And it's like what? It's just between 8 and 9 in the morning for us right now. So even greater than the impacts of the construction process itself is the environmental impact of the actual buildings that are being constructed. It has been estimated that the daily operation of buildings accounts for 40% of total energy usage worldwide. So projects like the Dakota Access Pipeline, yeah, that's right. Pipeline have been criticized for their long-term environmental impact on the areas they run through. Critics of this project suspect that transporting fossil fuels through hundreds of miles of pipeline will lead to oil spills that can go undetected for long periods and damage or destroy wildlands that were previously undisturbed. Yeah, you got to be careful when you're doing pipeline stuff. Like it's the pipes are like pretty good. It would take something considerable to cause a leak, I'd say. They're really careful how they build those things. And the pipes themselves are really like they're crazy, and the way they're connected and all that is all coated, and it's pretty crazy stuff, right? But yeah, I would say mining for sure like is huge. London, UK, right on. From just down the road from the first Edmonton. That's wild. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I got family in London. That's where my grandmother is from England, so northern England. But we do have family that lives in London still. So that operated before there was So for construction companies that operated before there was significant data on climate change, life may have seemed much easier. Today, more and more firms are being asked to shoulder the costs of construction waste, recycling, and environmentally responsible construction practices. Hey, Windy City Frenzy, good morning. Good morning. God, great to see everybody this morning. As a result, many of these firms are stepping up to the plate and coming up with new methods to reduce costs and reduce the impact that their projects have on the environment. More cooperation is needed between firms, though. Yeah, that's a good point. But to further that, between firms, lawmakers, and the public, to fund research and better methods, impose tighter regulations on construction firms and the people that benefit from their work, and elevate our collective stewardship of the environment. Yeah, we definitely need to work closer together. Construction companies are like, if you're in the same niche, you don't really talk too much to the people in the same niche. You're keeping secrets from each other, right? You end up getting information about your competitors through suppliers and workers and other ways, right? Third party sources, basically, right? But if people would come together more, collaborate more in this industry, I think that would be a good step forward. But it's going to take a lot of us and a lot of cooperation to make any change. How to decrease the impacts, right? So limit the environmental impact of construction. So limit fuel usage. So that's obvious, right? I think that autonomous vehicles and electric vehicles, I don't know how electric vehicles impact the environment as much. I don't know how that electricity, and they're generating it and recharging it and making batteries and all this stuff. I don't know how all that impacts the environment. But to me, it seems like it would be better than fossil fuels, burning fuels into the air, right? If anybody knows different, let me know, please, because I'd be interested to know. But yeah, battery operated equipment with autonomous vehicles, and yeah, they'll come together for pricing. That's true. That's very, very, very true. Reduce noise. So construction noise. This is an interesting one, right? Reducing noise. So construction noise is a major source of noise pollution. Most of this noise is produced by machinery in site preparation, demolition, and landscaping. Many construction sites are located near homes and businesses, and noise complaints might be likely. Be sure when beginning a construction project to consider and adhere to any local construction time restrictions. So I think here is like before 8 a.m. downtown, and 7 a.m. in residential, I think you can't make any loud noises, right? So oh yeah, so many people tonight might not appreciate work and loud construction noises beginning at 6 a.m. on a Saturday, right? Of course. You gotta mine a lot for lithium batteries, and that's the thing. So mining already contributes to 40% of global waste, right? So that's insane, right? Like if we're mining more for batteries, what's the offset, right? Like what's better, gas or battery? I don't know, right? Let's not forget too, like big equipment is going to take big batteries, right? Oh, money is everything. So construction in the environment, unfortunately, it has a lot to be with money. I'm not saying all construction is like this, but shortcut are happening. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, shortcuts. Always like, I don't care who you are. From my experience in construction, you could be the guy with the best morals and very ethical. And if your project loses a couple $100,000 or something like that, you're going to do desperate things to make that money back. And I mean, oh yeah, so that's what we need. Like we need things like that, Amos. We need to that uses seawater, dude. Like we need to start thinking that way, right? Seawater, saltwater, like it's mainly almost unusable, right? So if we could find a way to use that, it'd be amazing. Everything has energy. Everything is made of energy, right? Everything has energy. So we just gotta think like that, right? And figure out how to use it, right? So look at this. So in 2014, there was over 534 million tons. 534 million tons of construction material waste just in the United States. Demolition waste makes up 90% of total debris, and much of this waste is disposed of in landfills or through incineration. Both these methods harm the environment by salvaging, reusing, recycling, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, hardware, appliances, fixtures can be recycled. Or donated. Yeah, right. So brick and concrete can be recycled and used as fill or driveway bedding. And metals and wood are valuable commodities that can be recycled, right? It's crazy to think that, like I honestly, very little jobs, only time we save materials and stuff is when it benefits the contractor. If they're going to use it to put back into their project or that project or a different project, right? That's the only time that people like that have done a demo that they purposely save things. That's okay, yeah, no, but everybody's in the environment, right? So it affects us all, and I'd like to hear everybody's opinion definitely on this because it makes it. I like this, right? So a diversity of people are in the group, it is better, right? But I like to learn. Yeah, excellent. The demolition, right? So I gotta say, like, man, seriously, like it takes the only time we've really saved materials is when we're putting them back in and it benefits the contractor or the owner, right? In some way, and it's usually specified. On the lead projects is kind of interesting, where we separate things into their current bins, right? So we have a metal bin, a drywall bin, a wood bin, and this and this and this, right? And everything is taken separately. And that is cool. I like this, and I like to think of reusing and recycling, repurposing, refinishing, and then like, man, dudes, like I don't know how many of you guys have kids, but thinking about the packaging that comes in these fucking toys now, right? Like, holy shit. What the fuck is wrong with these people, these companies who one time used plastics, right? It's crazy. Wrappers and ties and rubber and all this stuff goes into the packaging of these toys. It makes me sick to my stomach. How the hell do they get away with it? So don't want to lose their grip on the money. Oh, of course they don't want to lose their grip on the money. It's always about the fucking money, right? It's ridiculous that our environment's been suffering for so long, and it's because of the greedy fucking bastards, right? Yeah, wooden pallets are great for people who have fire pits and like yeah, the one thing I do like about the brick guys, the mason guys, or anyone who uses concrete masonry units, they always save their pallets. You know, they keep their pallets in mint top shape and they reuse them, and it's awesome, right? But when we get skids from like our drywall suppliers, for example, there's dunnage and every load there's lots of dunnage, right, which are these cuts of drywall, okay, and that usually goes straight to the garbage, okay. They don't even save them and bring them back to their shop to reuse them. They just go straight to the garbage, and that's crazy, right? Same with the pallets. When you get pallets of mud, or you wouldn't believe how many pallets they throw away, you know. And most trades are like that. There's the electrical spools, you know, like the cardboardy ones that they throw away. It's crazy. Reusable technology, right? So there are a lot of green building options that help you decrease a negative environmental impact. For example, inflatable water dams help combat erosion. Inflatable water dams. We can definitely when you're working near like a river, main water source or something like that, or a big like a river, for example. We ended up shoring the river off. Okay, this was like 100 meters down almost. It was insane, and they shored the entire river off. And the construction project was in the middle. It was building all the concrete structures and tanks for the water treatment plant, right? It was insane, dude. That's the most amazing project I've ever been on. It was incredible. That's right. Absolutely, yeah. Super. All the equipment and tools, everything comes with it. And be wrecked. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when I like all my most of my boxes, I save for my all my equipment that I get. Right, for example, all this stuff. But in construction, I don't save my drill boxes. But that's the one thing I like about Hilti. You go there and they give it to you in right over the counter, or you can even get it in a bag, like a little tiny baggie, and that's it. You know, like they're like you just go and you buy the tools, and they'll even just give it to you a lot of times just over the counter and in no packaging. It's just awesome with the manual with a attached to it with a rubber band. It's awesome. It's beautiful. You know, it's insane. The packaging is insane though. Yeah, cofferdam in the middle of the river. It was right in the middle of the river, and it was neat. Yeah, it was just the upgrades to the water treatment facility here. It was an amazing project. I love building. Sounds not sold. Yeah, I'm gonna be. Once we get the garage going, oh my god, I'm gonna build some stuff. I'm gonna build some stuff in there. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to get that studio built in there. Oh yeah, I was wondering. I didn't know if Klein Guy would be around, so I clipped this one as well for him, right? So the environmental impact of Queen's construction project concerns parents, right? So for weeks, demolition workers have been preparing the site, so it can accommodate. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? So parents welcome the new space, but they are alarmed by how the project is unfolding. The biggest concern is the health of the children. Everybody agrees that an expansion of the building is necessary, but it should be done in a safe manner. Noticed a problem when he dropped off something for his son at the Bell Academy. It's only about 10 minutes. Yeah. So it was only. Oh, I'm in only about 10 minutes. My car was coated with a layer of fine dust. So this is insanity, guys. And my largest pet peeve. This is my biggest pet peeve. The APEC. Good morning, APEC. the air quality in our job, right? Like workers, they you got we're not thinking about this enough, and it's the air quality, right, and what we're breathing in. But concrete dust is insane, guys. Like that shit is gonna give you cancer, right? You wouldn't believe how many guys I've seen grinding concrete and stuff like that inside and stuff, even and not wearing a mask. I would wear a full respirator doing that outside, for Christ's sakes. Like, come on, it fucking blows my mind. So why the city isn't monitoring the air quality during the project, which involves tearing down a building and constructing, right? I don't want, God forbid, a situation to happen where 10, 20, 30 years from now something turns out that there was something in the air, there was some pollution that wasn't recognized and people got sick, right? It's insanity. So my daughter has said that some dust goes into the classrooms. Wow. So parents are saying their kids are getting sick, coughing. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Like, this is a school. And this is how ignorant construction companies are. It fucking doesn't, they don't care. Yeah, so that's what they said. When we visited, we saw one person with a hose watering down the site. That's not good enough, right? Like, it's not good enough. That's definitely not good enough. This is a school, okay? Like, this isn't crazy. That's what I mean. Like, they don't give a shit. Whatever costs money, it's like they just avoid it. And we need to legislate air quality. We need to have like people on site inspecting the air quality of every construction site for the workers, for the people who live in the area. Air quality tests should be done on every site and be monitored, right? It's crazy. There's no reason why we can't have monitors on site, and if when things get bad, an alarm goes off, right? And it's crazy. It fucking makes me so sick that we're so expendable to people. You know, we're expendable and we're dollar signs. You know, it's really sick, and it should be illegal. Absolutely. That enrages me. Actually, that's just insane. So, 3 innovations that reduce environmental impact. Oh, what do we got here? So did you know that commercial construction industry, hold on here. Did you know that the commercial construction industry is expected to increase by 8.8% in 2018? For construction firms, this is great news, as more growth usually means more business, more money, right? Nevertheless, the increase does come at a price. While the industry erects our cities, the environmental impact of construction is hardly ignorable and places a heavy toll on our planet. In fact, construction waste is expected to almost double within the next 7 years. Within the next 7 years, man. It's crazy. So fortunately, there are ways to proactively reduce the amount of raw materials consumed along with the waste this produces. Nonetheless, it takes more than good intentions. Companies serious about improving the well-being of our planet need to implement innovations that reduce their impact from building. Oh. Absolutely, APEC. Yeah, so it's always on the cheap. It's always on the cheap. Cheap, cheap, cheap. You know, it's crazy. So, oh, yeah. So, health and safety executive. They're a pain in the ass, but do sometimes do some. Oh, yes, but pain in the ass sometimes, but do good work. Right. Yeah, a new product for the medical industry is that's the truth as well. Like, it's insane. It's insane, right? Yeah, it's so wild. So what do you guys think so far of the new layout? Like, I made it bigger so that we can see more of the web page and things are just bigger, right? Like, the header's gone. I don't think that I might not use that header. I might do something different, but I wanted to make things bigger and less busy. So We're on a project. We try to recycle as much material as we can when demoing and remodeling. Yeah, it's worth it for everybody. I just don't believe that in the long run we wouldn't benefit from it more so than throwing it all away. You know, the thing is, people don't want to people don't want to store things, right? They don't want to store it. That's the thing. When they throw it away, it's out of their mind. It's gone, right? It's not. It's no longer their fucking problem, right? So that, storage is a huge issue, I would say. Okay, but I mean, come on, man. Like, new materials are coming in, so if less were coming in, we need less space to store them. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Mm. Okay, so construction builds our world, but it takes a toll on our environment. Construction uses more than 400 million tons of material a year. So 400 million tons. That's insanity. The industry is using 25% of wood, 50% of all natural resources. Wow. Constructed objects account for 25 to 40% of the world's total carbon emissions. Wow. So green construction is increasing. It's estimated that $187 billion will be spent on sustainable construction materials by 2026. So green building continues to grow 2 times every year. Every 3 years. So green building continues to grow 2 times every 3 years. Sorry. Lean construction. Yeah, lean construction has resulted in dramatically less of an environmental impact by reducing material waste by 64%. Wow. How technology improves sustainability. So projects utilizing BIM have reported to have up to 45% lower waste. That's insane, right? So BIM, right? Building Information Modeling. It's BIM is definitely, every job should be using BIM now, right? By now, it's crazy that you wouldn't. So it's project management software and integration, where you can plan things better and collaborate with the other trades and things like that, right? So everyone has input, and it's digitally planned, and conflicts and things like that are identified, and their material takeoffs are done automatically, right? Yeah, more uses for the waste. Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, how we should be able to repurpose it, or even reuse the same material for the same thing, even, you know what I mean? Restore it almost, so repair, restore, reuse, repurpose, and something, right? So BIM is good. BIM is awesome. So in one project, using 3D printed steel components resulted in a 40% reduction in materials. So 3D printing, that's obvious. 3D printing is going to be huge. It is going to be huge. Over 300,000 trees have been saved by digitizing blueprints and documents on plan grids. So 300,000 trees have been saved by digitizing blueprint. Yeah, everything comes digitally now, right? So you basically, estimators still get paper copies so they can double check the paper. It's still like something like hardcore old school estimators will do. Yep. A little stinker. She just comes walking down. Oh, that's too funny. Anyways, so it's an absolutely insane. 300,000 trees. So the digital blueprints and things like that. That's huge, right? Everything is digital now. I mean, when I used to work in the office, it's crazy to see the transition from paper to digital. the offices were just like stacked full of blueprints. Like there's paper everywhere, right? And binders of paper and stuff. It was insane. And since everything's been digital, the offices are nice and clean. It's a lot different. So how companies benefit from building green. So 30 for LEED certified buildings. So we can talk about LEED a bit too, right? So LEED is it's a standard, right, where you can pay to get a LEED score on your project, right? So how companies benefit from building green. 34% lower CO2 emissions, 25% less energy consumption, and 11% less water consumption. It improves labor productivity, increases ROI, government incentives, lower O&M costs, grows customer base. So yeah, BIM, 3D printing, software and automation, right? Yeah. Yeah, and then storing all of them as well. Absolutely, yeah. Specifications will come in binders and binders sometimes, right? And a lot of them are the same specifications as well then for every project. It's crazy, right? Because master format is where we get our specifications. Master format and divisions, right? That's how we catalog our specifications, and every specification has a number, right? So it's pretty easy and more efficient to have it digital. Absolutely. So automation too is going to be a huge thing. It's going to be huge. We're going to see the automation coming in a lot harder, and 3D printing, right? Let's see here. Let's see if we can get a video or something. Protecting the environment on a construction site. Oh, I wonder if this is the one with music. Hold on here. Hold on. Solar window glass, clear. Yeah, yeah. That's the we've been looking at that as well. Oh my gosh, how come I can't remember the name of it? Let's see here. I think photovoltaic is what I'm looking for. Is what it is. Photovoltaic glass. I think that's what we're looking at. What it's called. Photovoltaic systems. That's becoming more and more popular for sure. I guess this is all music, but let's see what they have to say, I suppose. So untreated muddy runoff pollutes rivers and kills fish. Okay. Uncovered dirty trucks spread mud and dust everywhere. There's a couple things to think about, right? Noisy work such as demolishing walls is noise pollution, right? Yeah, right. Scares away wildlife. So clean the dirty water with a cleaning system of some sort, right? So cover dusty loads, yeah, cover. And clean wheels leaving the site. Interesting. Noise barriers, interesting. that we in the U.S. get a year later, along with some building techniques. Yeah, right. Yeah, a lot of stuff is innovated over there. So that's interesting. So water cleaning stations, um, cleaning the tires, noise barriers, things like that, right? That's interesting. And then what's this now? But yeah, they're definitely more advanced in the UK and like just Europe in general. I'd say like they're more advanced in construction, right? But come on, right? They've definitely have more experience. Oh, so this is it without the music. I wonder what that would cost.
Hello, and welcome to our second in a series
yeah.
of 3 presentations on construction and demolition waste management. Today's presentation is avoiding and reducing construction and demolition waste.
Oh yeah, the PV glass. Yeah,
Placing
that's right,
orders. When placing orders, measure up correctly.
No crap.
Don't round up any more than is completely necessary. Double check and then triple check that the delivery address is correct. Make sure delivery arrives just before you need it, rather than leaving it in storage for too long on site.
Yep.
Preventing the ordering of unnecessary materials on site will produce a total saving on the project and or increase profit margins for main contractors.
So yeah, that's the thing. Like a lot of times, you'll like some companies will order material before like the invoicing, so that they can invoice for the material. Okay, it's a little crazy, right? So front loading things like that are bad. Like if you think about, like, man, the worst thing in a job, especially as a piece worker, is having to move material from one place to the other, right? Like finding new storage for it. It's crazy, right? Holy cow! In the 1880s, that is amazing.
Contractors and subcontractors.
That is amazing. I'd like to see
Reduce
that.
the total
That's
cost
so cool.
of purchasing materials.
Huh.
Avoid waste disposal charges through minimizing the amount of materials that result in waste. And reduce labor resources through the reduced handling of materials, as well as having the right materials. Delivery. When delivery arrives, make sure you are there to receive it. Why? Well, you can stop wrong goods from being delivered.
Yeah.
You can reject damaged items. You can send back any unwanted packaging. You can ensure that it is stored in the right place to stop it getting damaged or lost. This will cut down on waste and save money. When orders arrive,
Come on, what's this guy?
reduces the risk of damage, which
Storage.
packaging onto items. And if it takes time to reorder the items, money will be lost.
Yeah, right. Yeah, when
Should be locked away so that they don't get stolen.
Oh yeah, look at all this, right?
The pipes have been badly stored and consequently have been broken.
Storage, hauling, I don't know, using materials.
Even if it's no good to you, it could be very useful to someone else.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we've talked about that stuff.
This is a road, just an ordinary road. Nothing special about it, except for one thing. This road can take you anywhere. Philadelphia, to New York, to Chicago, to Atlanta, to Los Angeles, and San Francisco and back. Roads have made our world smaller and more interconnected than ever before.
Yeah, let's see.
take a look at
Let's see what this kid
Sonic
has to
construction.
say about the roads, right? Oh, what's the matter?
Let's take a look at how that's done.
Before a road is built, planners must evaluate important aspects of the area.
including weather conditions, traffic volumes, and crash statistics. They must obtain permits, address environmental concerns, and gain funding for the project. Once all this is complete, construction can begin. The first step is the earthwork, when the foundation for the project is built. Embankments are built and the road is screened. Then a bulldozer levels the dirt, clearing bumps and creating a surface as smooth as possible. To ensure an even firmer and more durable pavement, water is sprayed on the project and it is compacted even further. The center of the road must be made higher than the periphery so that rainwater will flow off the roadbed and into a system of drainage. Finally, several layers of gravel are put in place and compacted over the road until the road reaches its planned height. The second stage of construction is paving. Paving is either done with asphalt or with concrete, depending on the type, cost, and location of the road. Asphalt is far more common today and uses petroleum products to combine sand
Right.
and crushed rock.
All energy is
After being
definitely,
heated
I
to a
would say
few
so.
hundred degrees, the mixture is spread and compacted onto the gravel. If concrete is used, cement and water are used to hold together the crushed rock, and this combined mixture is molded into slabs, which can be placed on top of the road. With that, the road is ready to be used. Despite how amazingly useful roads have become to us, they still pose dangers to our environment and the health of our world. The construction of roads can cause great harm to our environment if we're not careful. Areas susceptible to erosion can be disturbed, sending loose sediment into streams and rivers. Chemical runoff can damage water quality, and the removal of vegetation that filters the soil can further the damage even more.
Yeah, it's insane,
Roads may
APEC.
cut across and through animal habitats, separating populations and disturbing natural ecosystems. And this isn't even to mention the air and noise pollution that cars and trucks make. Luckily, with a little foresight, these consequences can be avoided. Planning for the project's location and size is imperative so that it doesn't hurt the local environment or cause excess noise and pollution to vulnerable areas. During construction, all sediment, silt, and chemicals should be kept contained to prevent runoff to bodies of water. To keep the road environmentally friendly long after it is constructed, regular maintenance, like repairing cracks and leaks, and removing built-up soil deposits can help. While pollutionless cars aren't here yet, fuel efficiency has skyrocketed in recent years, and progress continues to be made.
Ooh.
In fact, federal agencies have proposed that all cars
Holy
must be
cow.
at
That's
least
awesome. I love
54.5
brick,
miles
it's my
per gallon
favorite.
by the year 2025. Humanity leaves a footprint, there's no doubt about that. But the road construction industry has done what it can to make life on our planet sustainable for years to come. So go get on the road and take part in what is the miracle of our interconnected world.
So, yeah, like recycling at home, even, right? Like, I mean, I recycle, right? We recycle all our plastics, cardboards, everything that's recyclable. We recycle here, but yeah, a lot of people just throw it in the waste. It's just easier there's not, the recycling programs aren't good enough, in my opinion. Like, especially from coming from Toronto, and having a really good recycling program and even a composting program. Okay, they have green boxes for compost, right? Like here they don't have that, right? And in Toronto, everything you have box for plastic, box for cardboard, and here it's all together, right? So it's insane, right? Yeah, wow, yeah, like they're doing that here as well. Our main road out here is 2 lanes each way. They're adding a lane to each way, and it's going to become almost like a highway. It basically is going to become a highway, right? So that's going to be starting. I thought it was going to start this year, but I saw them mobilizing this year, so it'll probably start next year, right? Yeah, man, oh man. I remember we had in our rental place before we bought the house here. We had concrete crews come through and like redo the concrete backs and fences and stuff like that. And fuck, were they ever messy, man. Like everything was covered, like all the kids' toys, everything like that. Like they just did such a shitty job. It was completely covered in a thick layer of concrete dust. And oh man, I was so pissed. Like, yeah, we complained to the contractors, like, yeah, get your fucking ass back here and clean this stuff. Like it was just nasty, like on the kids' stuff. Like it was crazy, right? And we had it all put away like we're supposed to and everything like that. And the dust just covered everything, man. It was crazy. They didn't even the Japanese recycling system. Interesting. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, 1,600 people, and that's the thing, right? Like when we're doing it as a group, and we can hold each other accountable. That's better, right? That's when things start working and working well. That we just don't have enough of that in construction, man. We're not holding each other accountable enough, right? It's amazing the power and influence companies have over us. You know what I mean? Like it takes a strong person to stand up against them. You know what I mean? Hey, Wilro, my man, what's up, dude? What's up, man? That's funny. How are you, dude? Nice to see you, man. Yeah, 400 million tons. Wow. So yeah, look at that. U.S. construction industry accounts for 160 million tons, or 25% of non-industrial waste generation a year. That's crazy, right? All right, so according to new research by construction blog BIMHOW, the construction sector contributes to 23% of air pollution, 50% of climate change, and 40% of drinking water pollution, and 50% of landfill waste. Holy shit! What the fuck? Those are crazy stats, okay? Like those are crazy stats, man. Yeah, the US GBC, they're the ones who created the LEED program, I think. So we'll look at them too after. Wow. Furthermore, according to the EPA, construction activity can significantly change the surface of a land, due to, in large part, to clearing of vegetation and excavating, which is common on many projects, of course, right? Oh, wow. The result means surrounding environments can be heavily polluted, particularly surrounding water pools, yeah, which have experienced an increase in pollution as a result of various construction projects in recent years. Wow. Building materials such as concrete and aluminum and steel are directly responsible for large quantities of CO2 emissions. Wow. 76 million tons. Yeah, 76. So with 9.8 million tons of CO2 generated from the production of 76 million tons of finished concrete in the U.S. That's crazy. One second. Okay, yeah, you get a shirt. Okay, come on.
Attica coming down too because she has
okay.
a shirt.
Want to say hi? Hi. Wait, the camera's right there. So yeah, now that China is not taking our recycling, 50% of recycling goes into landfills. That's insanity, right? So they need to give you incentive on your bill for trash collection for doing your part in recycling. Yeah, well, cash incentives would be good, right? That would be good. Rebates and things like that would be excellent. There has to be something, right? We definitely got to really get this done somehow, you know? A 10% break? Yeah, absolutely it would. A 5% break would. That's what I mean. Money is everything to contractors, okay? Money drives the entire project. It means everything. There's one city in Japan that has 81% recycling and zero waste policy. That's amazing. Okay. I love you. I'll be up in a minute. You're cute. That's the mentality we have to change. Yep. You shouldn't have to receive something to recycle. Well, that's true, but you know what? I think it has to be both. Like we need to hold each other more accountable, and you know what? It does cost to recycle. All right, like it costs companies money to have people like sort and recycle. So somehow that has to be paid for, right? Cost of construction could go up. The owners could pay for that, but everybody has to do it. That's the problem. There's always a fucking scab who will come in and say, "Oh, you know what? I'll do it for this, but I'm not recycling." And the owner's going to say, "Oh, well, I'm going to save this much and whatever." You know, everybody has to be on board, right? And if it was more legislated, like you have to have a recycling program, this and that, it would help too. But legislation is the last resort, right? Like that's the last resort in my opinion. Yeah, well, yeah. It has to be a happy medium, yeah. A happy medium too, yeah. Yep. Erosion and sediment controls, eh? So according to the regulations, construction firms should design, install, and maintain erosion controls to minimize the discharge of pollutants. Stormwater controls, yep. Yep. Soil stabilization is another issue, right? Yep. So let's see here. What's this? Energy Star program. Yep. Industrial Recycling Program and EPA's Environmentally Preferable Purchasing Program. So this program allows construction companies to help improve the environment by requiring your firm to buy products that are going to help the environment. Offers cost-efficient, environmentally friendly solutions for large-scale construction projects that involve landscaping. The main aim of this program is to stifle waste and pollution and help protect natural resources during the building process. So, yeah, new environmental impact assessment regulations. Oh, thanks, babe. Cheers. Cutie. Yeah, and that's a good point. Like like the small guys, like small contractors. It doesn't really. I mean, if every contractor did it, then it would make an impact. Okay, but for being a small contractor and renovations and things like that, yeah, that's an issue, right? Because that would be high cost to you. But the big, massive projects like it has to be better than what it is. Because I mean I see it on every project, man. Like just so much waste. Like I've been on like probably over 1,000 projects, right? And I only on a few of them, right? We had a lead program. Okay, out of over 1,000 projects, I've only been on three that had a lead program. Okay, or a recycling program. That's fucked up. That's really fucked up shit. You know. So yeah, environmental impact assessments are going to be a big thing now. Only conducted by qualified engineers and technical personnel. So yeah, assessments may not be conducted by anyone with ties to the project, right? So avoid conflict of interest or corruption and falsification, right? May not be submitted by any company that is currently blacklisted for dishonesty. So let's see here. Impact assessments can be carried out by construction units themselves, providing they have full-time staff that meets qualifications laid out in the regulations. Cutie. Right, okay, so if not, a third-party evaluator can be contracted to handle assessments. Yeah, fly tipping, yeah. And yeah, right? And that's the thing too, like I remember this guy, he had a roofing company, okay? And this guy was a real scumbag. They would dump their shingles in a farmer field, like in a farm field. You know what I mean? Like the used shingles, you know, to save what, $500 or whatever like that. So like, and I know this guy was buying crack with it, but it's like, fuck, man, just dumping it in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty crazy, man. It's pretty crazy. So, I mean, I had no part in that whatsoever. He ended up getting stuck out there one day. So his brother and I went to go pick him up, and that's when I saw it. I'm like, holy fuck, right? Like, come on. But, yeah, so here, the purpose of the environmental impact assessment study is to establish existing baseline conditions in the project area and to proactively assess the potential impacts and associated impacts of the proposed project on that area, right? So that's good. Yeah, environmental impact assessment is good. I really, really shake my head. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, just dumping it in like that, like fly tipping, like he's saying, illegal dumping. That's just bullshit, right? The cost is worked in, you know. But that's the thing. Like, if you're underbidding guys because you're not properly disposing of your material, your waste, right? Then that's really unethical, really, really shady shit, right? Like, there's so many things wrong with that I don't even know where to start. Green design as well. That's going to be huge, right? Like, we talk about green design all the time. The life cycle of building products right here. This is good. Like, we're definitely got to make the buildings smarter and green. You know what I mean? So they reduce their footprint or their impact on the environment, right? So sustainable design is about building the future, not just a structure, right? So green design is not merely the use of energy efficient materials. It also involves the creation of products and systems with a light footprint on the environment over the full life cycle. Life cycle ranges from production to transportation, installation, use, and renewal. As such, sustainable green design should be thought of as a process, not just a goal, allowing for a broader evaluation of the environmental issues, economical, and social impacts of a product. We look at products as single units and as a part of a system in their environment, right? I've taken a dump in the woods. So yeah, like I've never done that before. Like, I take my trimmings and things like that to the right place though, right? And dispose of them that way. I don't put them in with the waste or the landfill, right? But yeah, I mean, I grew up out with lots of farmers and stuff like that, where there was you just take it to the woods and dump it, right? Yeah, air quality. So there's a lot of stuff, right? Biodiversity, construction environmental management plan. So construction environmental management plan, that's good. Ecological impact assessment, ecological survey, scoping study, screening. That's awesome. But I'm always in the woods. That's awesome. We already know what that is. This is interesting here, eh? So this is the 6 ways the border wall could disrupt the environment, right? So people who live and work along the southern border will tell you that the farther away the political debate occurs from the border, the more detached it becomes from the reality of life in the borderlands. That long-held view is being confirmed yet again. So yeah, 5.7 billion. So one. So threatening diverse landscapes. Exacerbating flooding. Interesting. Perils to wildlife and plants. Animals protected by the Endangered Species Act. Oh yeah. Aw. Oh wow, that's funny. Is that like a pygmy choa or whatever? Dividing a river. Interesting. The meandering Rio Grande, the official border between the United States and Mexico, was long believed to be a geologic obstacle to construction of a border fence. The river channel shifts course from time to time and floods in the spring. To build a wall north of the river would, in effect, cede control of those lands to Mexico and isolate property and homes owned by U.S. citizens on the Mexican side of the wall. That thinking has changed. Last spring, Congress approved $1.6 billion to build more wall, mostly in Texas. Plans by Homeland Security call for construction of 25 miles of wall on flood control levees in Hidalgo County, sometimes more than a mile from the border. Another 8 miles is planned to go up in the neighboring Starr County. Interesting. Yeah, wildlife. Exemption from environmental oversight laws. Interesting. So construction of the border wall does not have to meet the requirements of more than 30% of the most sweeping and effective federal environmental laws, such as the Endangered Species Act, National Environmental Policy Act, the Clean Air Act, and the Clean Water Act. That's due to the Real ID Act, passed by Congress in 2005 in response to the 9/11 terrorist attacks. It authorizes Homeland Security to waive any laws in the name of national security. Wow. Yeah, well, dude, they're exempt from all this, right? So the Real ID Act has made them exempt from all this. So endangered species are at risk. The Clean Air, National Environmental Policy Act, like they're exempt from all this. So they can dirty water. They can. It's insane. It's insane. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. This was interesting. They're talking about shipping. I'm not going to play this video because they, because it's got music the whole way through. Sorry, but look at this. So Amazon is spending $800 million to make free one-day shipping standard for Prime. Okay, so that is crazy, right? So the problem with 2-day shipping now is like they're sending trucks out that aren't full and all this, right? So there's more time on the road and all this, right? So they're trying to think of ways to make people wait for shipping, so not to push for this quick shipping, you know? It's crazy. But Amazon also is working on the Amazon delivery drones as well. So yeah, environmental impact of building construction can now be predicted, of course. We've already actually seen that page. Yeah, single-use plastics, right? A biogas generator, composter on steroids. No shit. Yeah. I'm gonna start a compost out back this year for myself. I think I also want to expand the garden as well. So grow some more stuff. Yeah, dude, I know. I've had two as well before. I've had them come to my house twice a day as well. It's crazy. It's insane. Look at this. So annual CO2 emissions from plastic could grow to more than 2.7 billion tons by 2050. Holy shit. Yeah, plastic is crazy, man. I love Prime. Yeah, I know. I do too. We all have. I have Prime for sure. Yeah. What's this here? Oh, okay, that's just a marketing page. But yeah, so yeah, look at this LEED, right? The true cost of LEED certified green buildings. LEED is something here. Let me show you here. Many industry professionals believe that seeking leadership in energy and environmental design, the LEED certification will put an additional financial burden on new and existing remodeled buildings. Let's take a closer look at what goes into the cost of LEED design, right? So possibly higher energy use, LEED certification fees, construction-related expenses for architects, engineers, LEED advisors, site clearing and debris separation, disposal, green materials and equipment, post-construction monitoring, environmental control systems. Oh. Yeah, with a shotgun, that's funny. But the bubble wrap, yeah, bubble wrap. Right, really, eh? That's funny, Wheelrow. Yeah, drive to my house on Sunday for a $5 wrench. Crazy, right? With a big box of bubble wrap for a screwdriver. Wow, yeah, that's insane. So yeah, LEED certification is $2,900 for a new building under 50,000 square feet. Amount to 20,000. So let me see here. So certification fees for a newly constructed building over 500,000 square feet amount to 20 grand. So plus a $900 initial registration fee. Wow, that's insane. So look at this. Certification of a new hospital exceeded 1 million. That's crazy. That is outrageous. A 1.2 million square foot mixed use office building with a $400 million budget estimated. The LEED cost certification is only 0.27% of the total cost, which represents another additional $1.08 million. So construction-related expenses for LEED certified buildings can increase a project's cost by about 10 to 30%. So construction-related expenses for LEED certified building can increase a project's cost by 10 to 30%. That's insane. That is outrageous. The LEED certification alone can count for 5 to 15% of the total construction costs, not including funds required for other mandated expenses. So yeah, architects and engineers usually demand higher fees for green designs, right? So that's the thing. That's the problem right there. So it has to start at this sort of thing. It has to start almost at the top here, right? us down on the ground separating things like that is not going to do any good when they're not thinking like that, right? But the cost, like there should be more incentive to green design should cost less. Should cost less, not more, right? It shouldn't cost to recycle. We should be able to save by recycling, and it just doesn't make any sense that it would cost that much more, right? It's crazy. So look at this. Having separate containers for brick, drywall, steel, wood, etc. was a job killer. The disposal of some recovered materials, such as steel and copper, might have been financially advantageous, but most separated materials were dumped into the same landfill. Most of the separated materials were dumped into the same landfill. Like, lead is I've heard so many things about this. So it's good, it's a scam, it's this and that, but man. Yep. Okay, this is it. This is interesting, right? So the cost of green certified materials can become an issue when lead design guidelines favor one material source over another. Building Design and Construction discussed wood certification in its March 2010 issue. According to the magazine, the U.S. Green Building Council only accepts wood when it comes from forests certified by the Forest Stewardship Council. The problem is 82% of the FSC forests are outside of the United States and Canada. The USGBC apparently did not consider the cost of delivering certified wood thousands of miles from outside the United States. Similar issues would arise if, for example, one drywall manufacturer or steel supplier became a designated green supplier, right? That's insane. Yeah, post-construction monitoring, there's another cost, right? Let's see here. Let's see what their conclusion is. So part 1, 2, and 3 of this series are full of pro and con arguments about green designs. It is almost impossible to keep up to date on new developments on a daily or even weekly basis. Other issues about the effects and impacts of going green not mentioned in these columns are equally important and will play a significant part in the overall operating costs and energy efficiency of buildings. Yeah, well, and that's the thing. There needs to be more transparency there, right? Like, it's crazy. So, some buildings not living up to the green label. Someone here discusses the gap between design and construction, which LEED certifies, and how some buildings actually perform. Yeah, man. So would you be shocked to learn that a LEED building may or may not be energy or water efficient? Don't be. Oh, wow. It all comes down to an understanding of what LEED is. When people talk about LEED, they're talking about the third-party green certification of a structure. LEED is by far the most popular certification system, but there are several LEED systems depending on the project type, and some of these are getting simplified with LEED version 3. But yeah, let's see here. I don't know. Oh, that's really text heavy. Campaign. Yeah, just do your part. Yep. Yeah. That's too funny. Yeah, it has. So here's some good things, right? So it has created awareness. It has generated involvement. It has provided a framework for education. It encourages integrated design. It generates better buildings. So there's some pros, of course, right? I like creating awareness and provided a framework for education. Those are important, right? It's all important. Yeah, this is the USGBC. They're the ones who came up with LEED, and yeah, they're heavily involved, right? So from workplace gardens and honeybees to circadian lighting and toxin-free materials, human health is the next frontier in sustainable design, right? That's true. So they're taking people, like the people in the buildings now, into consideration as well, right? Like it's really neat, all the new things that are coming out with design, It's really cool. Now with augmented reality and virtual reality, we can plan things so much better. It's amazing, right? Augmented reality is going to be a huge contributor. Yeah, this is a couple minutes long.
How do buildings affect the environment? Buildings have a big impact on the environment.
Shit,
The
there's music
construction
on it.
and renovation of buildings uses precious natural resources.
Yeah, darn it. I'm not going to listen to that. Too much music. But this pretty much this is going over all the same thing here. 12% of the world's drinking water goes to construction and buildings. 40% of carbon dioxide emissions. Like, wow, there's a lot we can do here. There's so much room for improvement here. It's insane. That's right. Yeah, right. That's so true. Yeah, the guy, Jesus sandals, and driving a Volkswagen. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, hippies, right? Yes, delivery. Construction impact on damn music again. Oh yeah, this is just like a hipster video here too. Tree huggers, yeah. And yeah, APEC green builders are more prevalent in certain cities. It's true. It is definitely. Most of the forest in Killington is gone. That's so sad. But yeah, thanks to guys like Mr. Beast planting 20 million trees, eh? That's awesome. They planted more than 20 million trees. That's pretty fucking cool, if you ask me. Oil palm plantation. Look at that. Indonesia forest open burning. That's crazy. Yeah, building highway. Like, look at the dust, right? Like the dust. I know it's just dirt, but like, you know, it's just soil disruption, right? Like it's destroying, it's weakening the ground, right? Solid waste. Water pollution, of course. How about the monkeys, right? How about the wildlife, right? Aw. Wow. Those are crazy. That's crazy, eh? 80% of the world has lost 80% of its natural forests. Yeah. Yeah, really. Yeah, this is some crazy stuff. Really, APEC? That's crazy. Boiled Nuts is from is in Hawaii. I wonder if he sees that stuff. Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna see too, like a lot more green in our cities. They're all concrete now, right? But we're gonna be seeing more greenery, more trees, more grass, more plants, in our designs, you know what I mean, and incorporated into the buildings and stuff. Wood is a renewable resource, right? Yeah, let's see others, right? Like we are going to see huge like timber structures and more greenery. My life was okay. So if we as people are taking all these materials from the inside of the earth, what happens when it's all on the surface? I know, dude. Right? Are we shifting the balance of the planet, dude? I think about that all the time, dude. We're sucking all the oil out. Like we're mining everything. This is yeah, more rooftop gardens and etc. You're absolutely right. Are we? Now this is the thing. If you Google, how far down have we been able to go? Okay. Right. So the Kola super deep borehole on the Kola Peninsula of Russia reached 12,262 meters. So that's 40,000 feet deep, okay? And is the deepest penetration of the Earth's solid surface. Now, if you were to look, let's see if we can... So if we were to journey to the center of the Earth, it would take a lot longer than you might expect. Okay, this is a few minutes long. So this is what I always come to when I'm thinking about that. Okay, here's how deep humans have dug. So the typical grave is 6 feet down. Okay, sure, whatever. Yeah. Most Olympic swimming pools are 10 feet deep. Nile crocodiles dig the deepest animal burrow. That's interesting. The Paris catacombs are 65 feet. This kind of shows you like I know we're shifting the balance, but by how much, right? We tend to think smaller nowadays, right? Because we're so connected through technology that we tend to think the world is a lot smaller than it is as well. Yeah. So this is the deepest hole that humans have dug by hand, eh? 33 were trapped in a gold mine for about 2 months. Wow. The deepest known point in a cave in Krubera Cave in Georgia. In Georgia, interesting. Switzerland's Gotham-based tunnel is the deepest railway tunnel. Wow. Empoing in South Africa is the world's deepest gold mine. The super deep borehole is only 9 inches wide. Okay, so it's only 9 inches wide. Russian scientists have been drilling it since 1970. It is now deeper than the deepest part of the ocean. That's fucking cool. The bottom is 356 degrees Fahrenheit, which is too hot for drills. Yeah, I know. Me, Dibble. They're gonna get to this, right? Like hopefully they go out and you can see, right? So this oil well is the deepest humans have dug. So 40,000, but it would still take another 60,000 feet to reach the end of the crust. And another 21 million feet to reach the center of the Earth. So that's crazy, right? That is pretty insane. Could you imagine what we would find if we could penetrate the crust? And then what happens, right? Oh, we blow the world up. Oh, God. Yeah, I think that's it. But that's insane, right? Oh shit! Hopefully I didn't just kill my stream. I just closed the my live window, so hopefully I just didn't kill the stream. Let's go and see here. Live streaming. We still good? Yeah, we're still good. Good, good. I just I've never actually closed the actual stream window before, so. We would find a volcano. Yeah, right. But isn't that crazy, the scale of it, right? Like that's insane, right? Like it's absolutely insane. But man. Nope, nope, I'm here. Yeah, right on. Yeah, cool dudes. Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, this is the new camera. The quality is amazing. I just been playing with the bitrate in Streamlabs, so I don't know how it's gonna look. But hopefully it's good because I'm using variable bitrate now. I might just change that back to constant. We'll see how the stream looked overall in the end. But man, that was a good morning, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for the past couple hours. Holy shit. We almost gone for 2 hours. That's pretty cool, man. Hopefully we learned a little bit about how we can help the environment more. So wait a minute. That's my notifications. I'll bring this down. I actually put it over here even. Maybe, yeah, for this one look good. Good. It does look fine. Okay, good stuff, man. That's good to know anyway. But yeah, I know we're so tiny and have caused a lot of damage. Absolutely right. That's the truth, man. That is the truth, man. Oh man, I think I don't know the chat looks better over there or over here. But yeah, I'm redoing it. I'm reworking on my layout. So and then of course when I get the new camera, I'm gonna try to maybe change the angle a little bit to kind of this way a little bit more. But we'll see what happens. I do like the look, but it's different, right? So I can't wait. I got a couple more parts to go, and a couple more parts that you're all fuzzy here. Am I? Yeah, that's what I'm seeing on my stream too on over here. It looks fuzzy, so that's the variable bitrate. I'm sure it's the bitrate, which is really pissing me off, but that's okay because it's amazing. The picture's amazing on Streamlabs. So, but it just doesn't look right on YouTube. That's okay though. Hey, it's trial and error, right? Definitely I gotta tweak that after. Just the hair on my lip. That's funny. Oh shit, that's too funny. But no, that was it. I'm gonna shut her down. I want everybody to have a good Sunday and a good week. Don't forget, Paul Peck Drywall Tube is live at noon hour, so that's in 2 hours. So that'll be, hopefully I'm there. I should be there for that stream. But I'll definitely pop in for sure. But guys, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me, man. I hope we all learned a little bit about how construction impacts the environment and what we can do to fix it. No, it's not your eyes. No, it's not. It's the fucking stream. It's not the best. It's the bitrate in Streamlabs. I screwed it up. I shouldn't have changed that because yeah, it looks pixelated to me. But oh well. The picture's absolutely incredible on Streamlabs, but I can't change the bitrate during stream. So oh okay. Oh fuck, that's too funny. Oh man, Wheelroll, dude, good to see you, buddy. Merry belated Christmas and stuff. And APEC and Amos, my man, me Dibble. Nice to have you in the chat today, and Zaphael. And who else do we have here? Oh yeah, Ducky. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Eva was in. Yeah, nice to see Eva. Jelly Duck 100. How could I forget Jelly Duck? That's awesome. So cool, man. You guys all have a great week. I'm gonna shut her down, and yeah, good to see you guys. Bye for now.